What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Granny's PC, episode 215. And yes, we are back. The hunt continues as we are talking some more Predator this Wednesday evening. Jason, we were just talking about this recently. 8:30s on Wednesdays. Feels good to be back, kind of home, right?
It's true. That was our first slot. That was back when we were aligning to The Flash, right?
It was I don't know. There was like 5 CW shows at one point. It was completely insane.
That's true. Yeah, it was madness.
Yeah. So, thanks for joining us on this Wednesday evening. As always, if you're joining us on the Facebook live stream, welcome. If you're joining us on the YouTube or wherever you found your audio-only podcast, we always appreciate the support. And yes, we are going to be talking about the third film in the Predator franchise, Predators from 2010, which was produced by Robert Rodriguez, not incorrectly directed by Robert Rodriguez, as I said last week, so I wanted to get that right out there right away. And we'll get into our thoughts on it, though. But I am Ed, and with me, as always, is Jason. Jason, what's up? What's going on? How's your week?
How's it going? Happy Wednesday, everyone. Chugging to the end. Things are good. Things are good. Actually, Ed, I'm going to throw this out there only because I am like insanely deep into the Hitman series right now. Okay. I've been like, I'm going for platinum. I think I'm going to platinum this game, which is not an easy feat. But I think as a result, at some point, we got it. And I'm sorry about this, but I think I need an excuse to watch the Hitman movies.
I knew that's where this was going. So I already caught. As soon as you said you were in the Hitman series, I'm like, yeah, I know where we're going with this.
You knew where this is going.
Is there like 2 of them?
I think there's 2 of them, yeah, but I hear they're hard too. You know what I mean?
No, I have not seen them, but I have not heard great things. I'll say that.
I know Timothy Oliphant is Agent 47 in the first one, so that's got to be worth something.
I like him. I mean, the fact that I haven't heard great things is troubling.
But just put it on the docket at some point after a retrospective of the Alien Predator franchise, somewhere down the line.
Yeah, because I mean, we have an I was thinking about this actually earlier. We do have like an interesting thing coming up, right? Because we got the Predator franchise, which the Predator proper franchise, we're actually almost done. Like it's next week we have the Predator, and then we're already done.
Oh, what about like Prey and stuff like that?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. No, sorry, there are 2 more. My bad. I completely blipped on that one. So we'd have Prey and then Killer of Killers, and then that's it. And then we got like the AVP movies, and then there's like Alien, and then we didn't even really start. I mean, we got Alien Earth in our belt, but we didn't even get into any of those movies yet, and there's quite a bit of those now.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to get into that first Alien movie. And the second. I'm excited to talk both of those movies.
Yeah, that should be an interesting franchise to go through. And then next year, with Avengers Doomsday, and I'm using air quotes right now because there are rumors going around because that trailer is supposed to be coming out actually next month. And there are a lot of rumors that we might be getting like a secret title change out of nowhere. Now, there are a lot of rumors around these movies because, as we know, with the MCU, whenever a movie comes out, there's 1,000 rumors going around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The majority of them turn out to be bullshit,
but some of them that turn out to be true. Like, remember the rumors in No Way Home? Like, oh no, We know that like Doc Ock is going to be in it, but I think we're going to get Electro and we're going to get the Lizard,
Yeah,
and that turned out to be true. So sometimes those rumors they pay off.
yeah, because there's rumors that we're gonna get a title change announced with the trailer. That's gonna be Avengers versus X-Men.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay. Now, is that been the plan, or have they changed the plan?
Um, I mean, we've known that the Fox era X-Men are in this movie. Like
Okay, okay.
that's been pretty clear for a while now. Now, what role they play in this movie is a little bit unknown. So I don't know. I mean, it's feasible that it could be
Okay.
that. Um, but I don't know. But there's also like Hugh Jackman has not been officially announced to be in this movie at
Yeah,
all,
but
and you can't do that
they
without him,
played
though.
no, but they played that close to the chest. I mean, who was it? Andrew Garfield wasn't announced for No Way Home, so
Yeah, or Toby.
or Toby, yeah. So I just because it wasn't announced doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So they keep us guessing.
I agree. I agree. And there was, I know the other latest report though. Before I don't want to like, we don't have to veer on this too far, but there are. I did want to talk to you about these things anyway. Is apparently near the set of Avengers Doomsday, it's been reported that Tobey Maguire has been spotted around there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man.
Okay.
Like, it's pretty wild. Like, what's going on with this?
This is it's getting crazy because it's a Doomsday is not supposed to be Secret Wars. That's going to be a different thing, right?
Secret Wars is a totally different movie. Like, it's
Yeah.
the next
Okay.
Avengers movie that comes out the year after, but they're, you know, again, I mean, you would imagine they're connected. I don't know. I mean, I'm really curious to see where the heck this goes because I mean, the MCU has a lot riding on these next because if the Avengers movies don't do well financially,
Yeah.
I'm saying if they
Yeah.
don't do well, then then we might actually get that hard reboot that that some have been now asking for, which I still don't
I
think is
don't.
really necessary,
I don't
but
want that.
I don't either. So next year, the next 2 years are going to be kind of make or break for the MCU if they're going to continue on this route. Because if the Avengers films fail financially, they have no choice.
Yeah,
I'll
but
definitely say that.
I'll say this though: if the Avengers film fails, like financially, take a break. Like that's what I'm going to say because I don't want to like okay now we ran this into the ground and it's not making money. Let's boot it up again with new people. I don't want that. Like the only reason I accept that from the DC is because the DCU stuff I didn't like so much of that I'm like, please, yes, give me something I like. But I don't know if it's a choice between going to see Iron Man again in the theater with some other actor and just popping on the original Iron Man Blu-ray. I know which one I want to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I obviously I am on team. I don't want it to happen. I want this to continue. There's been so much there, but I think I don't know. I guess it's just with so many film franchises. I mean, I think everyone's first instinct is no reboot, no reboot until they get it, and you're like, all right, if they do something different with it and not just trying to like copy and paste, sometimes you can do some. But I'm not trying to go down that line. I
Yeah,
still don't want it, but
yeah,
I've learned to kind of sometimes take a second and go in with a fresh mind and be like, all right, just see what's up. And I've been
yeah.
surprised quite a few times.
Yeah, but then I will also say this: it adds to the superhero fatigue. If you got the people who are not huge followers of the casual watcher, and they go another Iron Man movie, fuck this. I mean, so I think it also does have run the risk of having the negative effect that they would want. So let's just hope that these movies do well
Yeah.
and they can produce quality. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, because Kevin Feige himself has said that Secret Wars is going to serve as like a reset. He won't call it reboot, reset. And I'm guessing that's because, like, again, like other characters, we're probably going to get like other characters from other universes probably in here
Right.
and stuff like that. Like, there will be some sort of a somewhat fresh start, but I don't think it's like full reset, like or reboot, like whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. But I know we know
And
the multiverse saga ends with Secret Wars.
right. And look, there's nothing wrong with a little reset because comics do it all the time. That's why
All
Spider-Man
the
was
time.
born. Yeah. Spider-Man was born in the 50s and is still 20 something,
Exactly.
here in the 2020s. So, I mean, a reset, a soft reset is different than we're doing it all from scratch again. Those are two very different things.
I fully agree. Fully
Yeah.
agree with that. But all right. So then, speaking of that, and it kind of does tie into where we're going now. For this franchise that we are covering at the moment, I'll just go ahead and get that here. Slightly different look. We'll get the ticker away from there. All right. So, as you mentioned, like you followed us the last couple of weeks, we've been covering the Predator film franchise. We started with the original, then we went to Predator 2. We jumped into Predator Badlands because it just came out, and we're not going to, that's weird if we didn't do that. And now we're going to kind of jump back into the, release timeline of this here. And the third film in the Predator franchise, Predators, that came out in 2010, is what we're going to be discussing today. Now, I know previously I'd mentioned that I had seen this film in theaters. I think I saw it once at home. Jason has never seen it before until now, so
that's it.
Coming into this completely fresh. This film was supposed to somewhat reinvigorate the Predator franchise because, I mean, this was the first Predator proper film, not counting the two AVP movies.
Right.
Because it seems like both franchises acknowledge that those two movies are kind of like on their own.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And that's it. Like, they're not adhering to it at all. So this movie is the first Predator proper film that we got in 2010 since Predator 2 in 1990. I mean, it was 20 years later.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Long time. And I doing a little research into this. And again, I want you to start off with your thoughts on this since you came into this totally fresh. Apparently, so this movie was produced by Robert Rodriguez, not directed. All right. And it was based originally off a concept that Robert Rodriguez came up with like in 1994. And
okay.
There were script writers that came in to rewrite the script and yada yada, but the basic concept was Rodriguez's for that long, and it took them that long to greenlight it, to go forward. So this movie went through like a lot of different concepts and stuff like that.
Okay.
And this was supposed to kind of like reinvigorate the franchise because when you really think about it for a second, it doesn't acknowledge Predator 2 at all. Like, this movie calls back a lot to Predator, but nothing that has to do with Predator 2. And apparently that was by design. That they were kind of like the reaction that 2 got, they wanted more of 1. And I'll get into my thoughts more on that because I feel like this movie has a fixation with the original film.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, I don't think it needed a callback to either of those movies. I was fine getting the callback to 1, even though I was like, because it's it's the exposition train where what's their face? I remember no one's name, so I'm just saying that right now. I'm lucky if I remember the actors' names, but the female lead, who I actually really did like in this, I did like a lot of the actors actually. But she gives you the whole rundown of the Predator movie.
Basically.
Right? And so I was like, okay, that's unnecessary, but I get it. You want to connect it. Now that you're telling me that they purposefully tried to distance themselves from Predator 2, I say, how fucking dare you, Predators, think that you are better than Predator 2? Because let me tell you something, my friend Predators, you are not.
I will hold that comment. My thoughts on that.
And we'll talk about it. And I'm not going to just be shitting on this movie. I have a lot to say about this movie, but I do have that because I have thought about this. I did come in thinking this is my least favorite Predator movie. So when we get to it, when we get to it, I'll lay it out.
Okay, so the character you're referring to is Isabel. She's played by Alice Braga.
Okay.
All right. So your overall thoughts on the film. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you hate it? I mean, just rip the Band-Aid off right away.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I have very complicated feelings about this movie because I think this movie starts off with a fucking bang. And I was like, when this movie started off, I was like, whoa, all right. I don't know what Ed was talking about that he's got second thoughts. But then as the movie went on, I would say I was really with this movie up until about halfway through. And I'll tell you the exact point I wasn't with this movie. Um, it was when Fishburne enters.
Okay.
Because I think Fishburne is an amazing, probably the best actor that they've got. And he's doing a fantastic job. And oh yeah, no, he's just trying to screw them over. And it's like, okay, but then also if you look at the first three people to die are three out of the four people of color. Like they literally introduce Fishburne to then kill him as the next person of color.
Oh.
But it's what's his face? It's Machete.
Danny Trejo, Mahershala Ali.
Yep.
And then is Lawrence? Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne is third because Walter Goggins is fourth. Right?
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, Walter Goggins is fourth.
Yeah. So I didn't really like the optics there, and I'm not saying it's racist. I'm not saying they did it on purpose. I'm saying as an audience member in 2025, I didn't like that optics. But and especially because it would have made more sense if Walter Goggins was the one who was turning on them, because that kind of was his character. And then that's where it starts to fall apart because Walter Goggins then has the hero savior moment, and then Topher Grace, who we all know was fucking something crooked because why is he there? Is like the worst among them, and it just I feel that it does a great job getting to that midway point, and then it falls apart. And once it falls apart, I start asking questions that this movie cannot answer, does not answer, and should be doing everything in their power to make sure we don't ask. And so that's why it's complicated. First half of this movie, great. Second half of this movie, dog shit. That's my opinion.
Okay. So when I saw this movie in the theater, again, this is the first Predator movie in proper in 20 years. I remember, and I mentioned, I'm sure, I mean, the receipts are here now that I've said it. I thought this movie was fun. I thought it was. I was cool with it. It had some good action, which I didn't change my mind on. There is some good action scenes in this. It's. I think the concept of the movie is pretty interesting, but I think where it falls apart is in some places where I thought Predator 2 fell apart. Is that the group that we get in this movie we don't care about. Like they're pretty much one-dimensional characters. Now, another great cast. Now, all three Predator movies have had awesome casts.
Absolutely.
It is a great cast, and I don't think it's because of like a lack of acting is in this film. I think it's just that we get a bunch of characters that we don't really care about. But I know the design of this movie is the title Predators was meant from the jump. And it plays out in the film when you think about it for a second, is that it's supposed to be a dual concept. The predators of the Yautja, now we can say that looking back on it, the Yautja,
yes,
right? And thank you for correcting me last week because I was like killing myself butchering it, and I was like, wake up, get it together, man. We have the Yautja, but then we have the humans that were selected by the Yautja to be thrown on this game reserve for their predators to hunt were also predators.
Yes, right? They were.
So it was a dual meaning for this movie, which I thought was an interesting idea.
Agreed.
But you also don't really root for any of this crew.
No, Isabel is the only likable character among them.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like we're given Adrian Brody and Isabel, right? Like, so we're given Royce and Isabel, right? Though it's Adrian Brody's character, the two ones who are kind of like maybe they're the most human of the two of the crew. Like everyone else is kind of seen as like they're supposed to be evil, and I also think that we can kind of go through the idea of that because I thought to myself, right? These people were selected by the Yautja, and they are dropped into this planet to be hunted by three of the four because one of them gets tied up for reasons unknown.
We
right?
never know. Yeah, we have no idea. I was like, did they tie him up? Was he a turncoat? Are they
Yeah,
warring with another clan? Like, I had no fucking idea.
yeah. We don't really get an explanation for that, and I have thoughts on that in a second, and those thoughts are kind of only from having seen Predator Badlands, because having seen
Mm.
Predator Badlands now and looking back on this, it does. I'm gonna nitpick some shit, but I'm also gonna kind of forgive the movie for it because it wasn't really the thought at the time. Um, so they selected these humans that are supposed to be predators, the worst of the worst, I guess, right? Like, all right, did you get that? That's kind of what I got from
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. No, I
Uh,
absolutely got that. Adrian Brody is like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of the biggest badasses. Topher Grace winds up to be a serial killer. Walter Goggins is a criminal.
he is a
Like,
actual predator of humans,
yes, yes,
right?
exactly.
He's the one that's the most on the known. I mean, the guy at one point is talking to he's talking to Topher Grace's Edwin at one point, and he is basically telling them how he's looking forward to raping
Yes,
people at 5 o'clock.
yes, right, exactly. So he
Good
is the
raping
most
time.
of good. Well, I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Um, but yeah, you got him, and then there's the Japanese guy who I think, man, they could have done a lot more with him as like
Yes,
a fucking samurai. Like, he's got one of the
Hanzo.
best. He's got the That's Hanzo. He's got one of the best deaths in the movie, where he's just like, "Fuck this, we're going toe to toe."
Yeah, and I do think it is one of the best scenes in the movie, but I'm gonna hold back some thoughts on it because there is one thing that smacked me in the face repeatedly this time around that didn't the first time, and I want to just get your thoughts on it.
Okay,
Let's focus on the crew though.
okay,
So yeah, so we get a member of the Yakuza who they don't do a lot with anyone really at all, and
no,
that's the problem with but that's basically a lot of my problem with this movie is that we don't give a shit about them again, right? And this is the second Predator movie because you even acknowledge that in Predator 2,
oh
one
yeah,
of the things is like outside of Danny Glover, we don't give a shit about Hannigan. Everyone else we don't really care about.
yeah, no, it's because they're using caricatures. They're not. There's This is still trying to do what that first one did about having this, like, I don't want to say brotherhood, because they're there's a girl and a woman in there, but this like unity, this bond that just, because of what they had, they needed to form that because they all just met each other. But the movie doesn't allow them to do that, and therefore we care about none of them. At least that's how I felt.
No, and I agree with you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of these characters. No, the first movie in Predator, I think it is safe to say, Dutch's team was definitely a brotherhood, and
Absolutely.
they brought in like a sister who she was just a person who was captured at the time, who Dylan wants to just go ahead and bring back. So they definitely have that, but you could also sense that, and that's when their deaths are meaningful. In this
Yep.
movie, I mean, Danny Trejo's character dies off screen, kind of, because we see him. We see him kind of. Cuchillo is his name.
Okay.
So I do see now again. That's the thing with this movie. Interesting concept, poor execution. Is
Mhm.
he's the first death in this crew, and he is injured by the Predator. The Predator does this kind of cool thing where he has him calling for help, right, to
Yeah.
lure in the rest of the crew so that he can hunt them. And then, he ends up getting murdered by Isabel to
And
put him out of his
I
misery.
I think he's already dead.
Oh, okay. So you do think Isabel did not kill him?
No, because I think that's the Predator using his like
The mimic.
the Oucha using their mimic, because after she pops him in the head and he falls over, you still hear in the background him calling for help.
Yes. Yes. But
So I
I thought
think
in
he
that
was dead the
shot
whole time.
I thought in that shot that they showed that he was kind of like barely hanging on, and that's why she puts
Maybe
him
I
out of
missed
his
it.
misery. Yeah, I don't know.
But
But
well, I think the reason she wanted to put him out was because Adrian Brody was going to leave him, and she's like, "I can't leave him." He's like, "All right, your funeral," and she's like, "Well, if I go," like, she has this moment of thought where she can't go back to get him because she'll be killed. So it's like, I think that was more to set up her like ethics of like no man left behind.
Yeah, which again, she's definitely the most human of the crew that we get. Royce is, I guess, Royce is basically mainly about survival. Adrian Brody's Royce, and I understand the choices he's making, as cold as they are. He is a mercenary for hire who only is a man. He's not really about the team at all. Even though he
No,
does kind of come back for Isabel, like when at the end when he's like, "Oh, I missed my flight," and there's that misdirect that we think he ditched her and then he didn't, and all of that.
right. Which
And
we'll get into because I do want to talk about that.
yeah, I just figured with Leah, we'll focus on the crew,
Yeah.
and so I guess yeah, like I said, he's the second most humane, but I kind of get where he's coming from with a lot of his choices here, and he makes a humane choice at the end. I don't think he actually missed it. He used the flight, the ship taking off as a misdirect to kind of do what he did. So
Yeah.
he does come around in the end. And let's see. We also have Mombasa, which is Mahershala Ali's character, being the second one to die.
Which what character, unfortunately. Like,
Yeah,
you have Mahershala Ali, and he has. I'm not even sure what his deal is. Was he also from San Quentin with Goggins?
Walter
Or
Goggins. Yeah, they had some sort of relationship that I don't know either.
Right. Like, I never got a sense of him as a character.
No. He's character by name because the cast says so. That's what I mean.
Right. And how do you bring in Mahershala Ali and not give the man some food to cook with?
Well, I will say though, again, in the defense of the film, or at least in defense of Robert Rodriguez, I'll say, Mahershala Ali wasn't Mahershala Ali yet.
But he always could act.
I know. No, he could, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, if this movie was made in 2025 or something, like, it'd be like, oh, forget it. He would have been like the main character. Adrian Brody probably would have been like the random dude that dies or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
It is interesting though to see, and like Danny Trejo's in this movie, Robert Rodriguez. Like, you know, that's one of his guys, so he's gonna bring it in. And plus, honestly, the Danny Trejo dying part is also like, remember, for most of his career, that's kind of was his thing. I'm gonna be this badass guy who just dies.
And here's the thing: I don't mind that he dies. I don't even mind that he was the first to die, but it was just like, it's him. And then it's Mahershala Ali, and then we bring in a black guy to kill, and then I think it's Goggins, and then it's Saito, right? Like, so.
Well, I will say though that Walter Goggins, his character, again, character loosely stands because you barely even hear these characters' names throughout the movie. That's how poorly developed they are. He gets the most gruesome death, I think, in this entire fucking film, though. Like, that kill is crazy when you really think about it for a minute. Like, he's kind of like sacrificing himself so, the crew can go. But then one of the predators comes over and basically grabs his head and rips his skull out with his spine. Like Sub-Zero.
It was like I was going to say that. It was a Mortal Kombat fatality.
It was nuts, like in the rain and stuff like that looked really cool. A cool concept, but because we don't care about the character, you're like, wow, that was gruesome, but okay.
Yeah. And since we're talking about Walter Goggins, look, I love it. Anyone who watches the show knows that I love Walter Goggins. I think he's one of the finest actors that we have right now. But that character had such an unearned arc. Like, he is trying to sell him out or being violent or like being comic relief, but everything he does is like, self-serving up until he sacrifices himself for them. It's like, wouldn't that have made more sense if he died instead of Mahershala Ali, and then you got a little Mahershala Ali, like maybe he's a villain with a heart of gold or something. You know what I'm saying? And you get that like character. So then when he actually when a character sacrifices himself, it actually makes sense. Because when Walter Goggins did it, I went, why? He was ready to sell them out every other second before this.
Yeah, and he kind of does this thing to the Predator where he kind of like stabs him and kind of like it was something like an inmate type thing that was going on.
Yeah.
There. Like, like shaking him almost. Yeah, it was cool. Like again, cool ideas, but like you're right. Like the characters are so poorly written, we just don't give a shit. And that brings us around to Lawrence Fishburne's Nolan, who they meet there, who has this cool intro because he has the cloak, he has the Predator armor, and then we find out it's a human. And I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty badass. We've never seen that before. And he's this badass dude who was there from the previous crew that was dropped in, right? Because these characters are all parachuted in out of the fucking sky, which we don't really get an explanation of how or why this is happening.
And by the way, that's the question the movie should not want us to ask. And we will get into that. That question, that's a question.
Oh, there's a lot of questions that do not get answered in this movie, and it's part of the writing thing or whatever, the priorities that I'm going to save that because I feel like this movie's main priority was something else and it wasn't actually what it was.
Yeah, let's call it. It was trying to set up a fucking world. It wasn't trying to give us a good movie. It was trying to kickstart a Predator franchise.
I think it's that, but I also think the main thing on this movie's mind was, hey, remember Predator? You love Predator. We're going to give you as much Predator just to keep making. I was going to save this, but screw it. We're stumbling upon it now. We'll get back to the crew in a second. Jason, I love the Predator theme. You know that. We opened with it. We've talked about it when we did the first movie. It's cool.
Yep.
But, and I'm not against using it because at this point it's like, all right, this is the Predator theme. We're trying to make you think back to the Predator you liked, right? Okay. It's back in the jungle again. Okay, which, again, you're doing it again. Like you're trying to make sure, remember you liked Predator when it was in the jungle? Now we're back in a jungle setting. We're making sure we give you the theme. If it stopped there, I would be okay. But Jason, in the fucking closing credits, we get Long Tall Sally for no reason whatsoever. There's no connections in this movie.
No. That was egregious. I when that came on, I was like, I thought about Jesse Ventura, and I went,
yes,
that's what they wanted me to think. Fuck you, movie.
And you
just this part. Just this part. No, just this part of it. Because I don't mean that for the whole part. I really did like the beginning, but I'm saying just on the level that you were trying to get me to remember how much I like Predator, and you're trying to trick me into thinking I like this movie as much as I like Predator. That's what I'm saying. Fuck you too.
Oh, but Jason, it doesn't end there. I also thought of Jesse Ventura as soon as this very moment that we see Nikolai, because he has the same exact gun that Jesse had in the first movie, which is not a gun that's used very often at all.
No, it's not.
Right? No,
dude, I completely forgot about that character until you just mentioned him.
Exactly, because you probably saw the gun, you heard Long Tall Sally, and you just thought of Jesse Ventura again, and you completely forgot about this poor guy.
Holy shit! I completely forgot. Like I legitimately forgot he was a character in this movie. Now, of course, I know you're talking about, but that is how poorly written these characters are. Yes. You can remove them completely, and it does nothing to the film.
But they got the weapon in the movie, and that was what you were supposed to be thinking about. And guess what, though, Jason? It doesn't stop there. I've got more for you.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And I guarantee you some of the, based on your reaction, you weren't thinking about this, but you're going to be on board with me immediately. Okay. So, the epic thing we got with the Hanzo fighting a Predator. Now, if you give me a member of the Yakuza with a sword fighting a Predator in an open field, number one, I'm not taking away from this scene because it was awesome. It was a badass scene in this film. One of the best. It was one of
the best scenes in the movie, 100%.
Just throw down. But when he decides I'm going to go one-on-one on this Predator and I get my blade and I'm going to go fight, kind of made me think of Billy in the first movie when he does the same exact thing, but we just don't see it. It happens off screen, unfortunately. Like, I would have loved to see Billy fight the Predator. So it's like, hey, so you can get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Have the samurai thing, and I'm going to hold this down. He does the same thing Billy does.
Yeah, you're right. Movie. I didn't even clock that, but you're 100% right.
And guess what, Jason, though? It doesn't end there.
Oh, I'm excited. Now we're on the train. We're riding the fucking train, the
We
nostalgia train tonight.
we are there. So, and I don't want to jump to this, but remember the last fight of the movie when we get Royce and we get the Predator, the last one remaining Predator, and they go one-on-one and they fight, and
Yes.
Royce covers himself in mud and takes his shirt off, and he tells him, "Come on, kill me, go, do it, kill me." Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I went into my Arnold thing because he used the same exact lines that Arnold did in the first movie
Oh,
to yell at the Predator.
God.
Word for word, Jason. Word
Oh, I didn't even
for
clock
word.
that. Dude, maybe I meant the fuck you movie. Maybe I did.
I kind of think you're coming back around to it now.
Yeah. I mean,
Dude,
again, this is a.
Jason, they recycled exact moments from the first movie, and think about it, it's going almost beat for beat as the first film.
That's egregious. That is egregious. And you want to be my latex salesman, Predators, thinking you're better than Predator 2.
So yeah, Royce goes ahead, and this is Adrian Brody's Royce, fights the Predator one-on-one, going shirtless, camo, got the mud on him, blocking it, has the fire behind him, which is supposed to help block the heat vision as well, so the Predator can't clock him, and gives him the upper hand in the fight. Starts fighting with other weapons like Boy Scout type weapons. I mean, it was basically a shitty version of the first fight the last fight in the first movie, is what it turns into.
Yeah, God, I didn't even clock that. You're right. That's egregious. That's egregious.
And then we get Long Tall Sally like 5 minutes later. And that's why I'm like, when the credits roll on this, I'm like, what just happened? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't notice the beat for beat Predator stuff until this time around. I'm like,
And
this
I
seems
guess it
really
helps.
familiar to me.
I guess it helps that you just watched The Predator like 3 weeks ago or a month ago.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, it was still fresh in my mind. This movie didn't need to make me think back 20 years at this point.
Oh boy, that's egregious. Yeah, I still stand by liking the first half of this movie, but that's knocked it down a peg for me.
Now, having said all that, though, I will say that, and before we'll still jump back into more details, but having said that, that's the main thing that pisses me off about this movie is the lack of character development and the begging you to remember the first movie, begging you hardcore to do it. Like, it was almost like you were just copying some homework when you didn't really know what to do.
Right. Exactly. I like that. Yes. Oh my God. It's you know what? It's like Robert Rodriguez is sitting next to you and nudging you in the ribs going, you like Predator, right? You like the movie Predator, right? You remember Predator?
Yeah, you remember you like Predator? Huh? I know you do. I know you do. Come on, I know you like Predator. Like, yeah, you like it? How about we give you that cool minigun that Jesse used in the first movie? Like that? Okay. Guess what? You like Long Tall Sally? We're going to give you that too. You like the jungle? We're going to give you that. You remember you loved the theme? We're going to give it to you slightly remixed. We're not going to bring back Alvin Silvestri, but we're going to give you a remixed version by somebody else.
That's right. You like strong characters? Well, you shit out of luck. Sorry, but we gave you all this other stuff.
Listen, I give you what I could. This is what I got. I don't got it all. All right? Because I don't want you to go shut off my movie and go watch Predator.
I mean, oh God, yeah, no, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
It's bad. It's pretty bad.
All right.
I can see in your mind you're really thinking about this a lot now. Like,
it's bothering me now. It's bothering me. All right, I'm gonna call out the things I like about this movie.
Yes, we can go back to that because I'm done with what I didn't like. Well, I'm sorry. The other thing I will say though before we can get to the things we like then it's just the ending of the movie that has more people parachuting in, and then we just they just walk away. Did they leave? Did they get back? Are they there forever? Did they die later in the next round? You never heard from these characters again.
We don't, and we never will, thankfully. But since you brought this up, I will air this grievance, and then I'll get onto the things I like. Is if you really look at the plot of this movie, it makes zero sense.
Well, of
Because
course.
here are the questions: how did the Yautja find these people? Are there bureaucratic, administrative Yautja who do lots of research on Earth to find out who the badass predators are? Because in the last two movies, and yes, I am talking about the two, they come to Earth in places that are war torn, and they look for the alpha male, and then they fight it. And even if you're going to say that, well, all right, they got recon people who do that. Okay, how did they get Walter Goggins while wearing a San Quentin outfit? Did they get him from prison? In which case, how? Um, how did they get any of these people without their knowledge? How did they find them? How did they transport them? What happens between that awesome opening of Adrian Brody parachuting down and when he was caught? Like, none of this makes sense.
I'm glad you got into that too, because you're 100% right. I have no rebuttal for any of that. I'm with you. I'm fully on board with it. But yes, like, so you chose Royce because he's this badass gun for hire mercenary. Okay, fine. I'm on board with that. I can get behind that. Okay, maybe you saw him doing some crazy shit and he was killing.
Fine.
Fine.
Yep.
I'm good with Royce. Why did you take Isabella? What was the point? Like, what was she physically going to be this challenge for you to take down, Yautja?
Right.
What was it?
Why did you take Topher Grace? Even though he's like a creepy rapist
He's a
serial killer, it's like, okay. And what happens when you put a serial killer in prison? They have to be put in a place where the other actually alpha people can't beat them to death. Like what happened with Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, Jeffrey Dahmer is scary, but he's not good. He's not scary like he's going to fight predators.
Yeah. Now, all right. So we're going to question two. So if you want to go to Nikolai, okay, the Russian guy who we almost forgot existed in this movie.
Was that again? Who? I don't remember him.
Exactly. I mean, he also didn't seem like he was the worst guy. Actually, I don't remember what was. I don't remember. I off the top of my head, I can't remember anything that was like bad that he had said. He seemed like he was actually not of the bad dude.
Maybe it was the gun. Maybe they were just like, hey, that gun looks powerful. I'm going to take him because someone's going to fire that gun.
Maybe he was in the village. He was in the jungle where it was left behind by Jesse the Body Ventura. And he picked it up. And he was like, man, and he started using it. Then the predators were like, all right, we got to take this guy. If he can use that gun handily, he's got to be a threat.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? I'm sold on that one.
Now we're doing a lot of writing for this movie right now. We're doing a lot of backstory for them.
Look, we're filling in shit that the writers didn't think about. And then again, as I said, Walter Goggins. Even if the Yautja did somehow get his fucking file on what a monster he was, how did they physically get him from the prison?
How they physically got anybody, I have no idea.
And that's another thing. How they physically get any of them? These are not creatures known for stealth. I mean, yes, stealth in the sense of like they camouflage themselves to hunt you, but they're not known for like they're not James Bond spy level stealth. You know, it's not like they're like, all right, I'm going to go down to Earth and then I'm going to get us some things to hunt. Like, no, that's not the species. That's not these three that we're looking at.
I like how you went right to Sean Connery, James Bond.
That is my Bond, you know.
Fair enough. So Danny Trejo, who's a member of a Mexican drug cartel, he seemed like he was the alpha male in that situation.
Yeah, no. I mean, not unless he was the head of the cartel.
He's not Machete.
No, he's not. He's literally like the head of the cartel's C-list bodyguards or goons or someone. It'd be different if he was like, look, it'd be different if he literally had a machete and he was like, I'm a goon, but like I'm one of the deadliest guys in the world with this fucking machete or something. So give some form of character why they're dangerous. Something.
Yeah. All right. So Mombasa, which is Mahershala Ali's character, I also wasn't getting the vibe of him being like this super threatening alpha male. He was just seemed like he was kind of like he was the prison guard that was keeping Walter Goggins in place. It's kind of what I got.
And at this point, they need to give you a story by credit because you're doing way more work to make the story make sense than the fucking actual writers of the movie.
Yeah, like I get the idea where they were because like you get the feeling right from the way this movie they chose to start it. You get Adrian Brody, you get Royce dropping down in the parachute, and you're kind of like, you know something? We're gonna kind of keep their backstories a mystery for a while, but then it has to kind of be revealed throughout the film, not just like in a sentence or something.
No, it has to be. And then, like, because that's the thing. All we get about Mahershala Ali and Walter Goggins' relationship is Walter Goggins is trying to kill him in the beginning.
Yep.
He doesn't. He pulls a knife on him because he wants his gun, and Mahershala Ali puts his gun in his face, and then they back away. And then Mahershala Ali is killed, and Walter Goggins is mad. And Adrian Brody goes, "Didn't you just want to kill that guy a half an hour ago?" And he went, "Yes, but things are different now." And that's all we get.
We don't know why they're different. They just are.
We don't know why they wanted to kill each other. We don't know what their relationship was. How interesting would it be if you didn't kill Mahershala Ali off in the first 5 minutes of him appearing, and you actually let some of their relationship go where, like, Walter Goggins is the baddest on the block. This guy was, yeah, as you said, he was the security guard, a corrections officer, the cop, something. And then they hate each other, but in the end, they gain this mutual respect. Maybe Mahershala Ali's death means something because it doesn't in the movie.
No.
Like maybe he saves Goggins because that's been his, I'm supposed to rein you in, but I'm also supposed to keep you safe. And then Goggins, then then you have that earned moment of no, we can't let this be for nothing. But like again, I need a fucking story credit by because I'm doing way more work on this script than the writers did.
Yeah, we both are right now. And I guess Lawrence Fishburne's Nolan. We also don't learn a lot about him. I mean, the fact that he was able to kill a predator and take his armor, okay. I mean, all right. On this world, I can see where he is a badass. I mean, Lawrence Fishburne's also not like this small dude. He's a fairly large guy. All right, I can kind of get behind that for a bit. He's surviving. He's in this ship, and he's keeping his head down, man. Like that's the way he even says it. But when he sees this new crew in, his idea for survival was to screw them over because he needed to take what they got because he pretty much figured that they were going to die too.
Yeah, but again, I didn't like that. I thought I liked him. I loved his entrance. I love that he's talking to voices in his head because he's been alone for so long. Like, I needed more from that because he was actually such a cool character, and actually, there was actually some character there.
Yeah, there was.
But like, for him to just go, "Now I'm just they're gonna die. We're gonna take their stuff." It's like, well, no. If you've been alone for cycles, like you've said, we don't know what the cycles are. It could be years. We don't know. Yeah. But if you've been alone for that long, and you get some people, I don't think your first reaction is to murder them all in their sleep, so you can have 3 guns. I mean, what are they walking around with that's so powerful?
Or just give us some background on him, and if we find, I mean, I'm assuming he's also just a bad dude, like
which is fine.
But tell us that.
But tell us, maybe you find out at some point that the way he survived is by screwing over every team he's been in, and that's why they're all dead and he's alive. Because that's something, but they didn't do that. It went from him helping them to them literally waking up to him gassing them, and then a predator shows up out of nowhere and blows his fucking head off. And it's like, what was all of this for?
Yeah, the predators also Well, actually, let's get to Hanzo first before we jump to the Predators. Um, Hanzo is a all right. So I guess maybe he's a badass in the Yakuza. All right, if you're going to be a badass in the Yakuza, then I could assume that. All right, maybe you warranted something, but I still would want a little bit more to the character. And you also
Agreed.
fought and killed a Predator one-on-one.
Right.
You fought.
I mean,
he fights the dude to the death. He fights the Yakuza to the death, and they both die.
Yes, which I think pitch perfect, right? Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe if he slaughtered this thing, but it's awesome he took him down with him. But like, but give us something. Give us like he doesn't really do anything in the movie up till that point. Maybe
Literally
give him some development where it's like, you know, oh, you're Yakuza. Why do you carry you carry a sword but not a gun? Or aren't gangsters supposed to carry guns?
He finds the sword though in the ship.
Oh, okay. Or then something, I don't know, something to justify this, like something to be like, yeah, you know, in whatever part of Japan I'm the Yakuza lord in, I'm known as like the executioners that cut people's heads off. I don't know. I'm sick of doing the movie's work for it, but give me something to make his death meaningful because it's an awesome death.
Yeah, I agree, and it would have held a lot of weight. So as far as the Predators go, yeah, like we mentioned them briefly earlier, there's 4 Predators in this movie. 3 of them are pretty feral predators and stuff like that are in this, and we get one of them that the other 3 tie up for whatever reason. Maybe he didn't want to play their reindeer games or something. I don't know what the hell was going on with them because we don't really get it. Right? Like the 4 of them go like, "Hey guys, let's go and let's go to the game planet. Let's go hunt us some asshole humans." Right? I picked some. We got some this time, right? Maybe it was one of their birthdays. I'm like, hey, what we do here is we go ahead and we go to this game planet and we hunt asshole humans that we handpicked, and they parachute in out of nowhere, and then we hunt them down. Also doing more work for this movie.
No. Since we're doing this work, I'm going to put my own thing on it. Then I actually think they're on a bachelor party, right? It's a Yautja bachelor party, and one of the predators, the main predator, the one who kills Fishburne, it's his like wedding that's going, but they tied the other guy up because the other guy was Frank the Tank in it, you know, and so he was getting crazy, and so they had to tie him up, and that's why when he screams in their face, he's still drunk.
That's true. I could definitely see like this hangover type thing that was going on here. Maybe it was like that. Like,
oh my god! Now I want the Hangover with predators, guys.
This could have been it. Like, there's probably just more backstory here that we needed, right? And this one guy got out of control. He was too drunk.
He was too drunk. And then Predator Mike Tyson showed up.
Yes. All right, so so we never find out why this other Predator's there. I'm assuming again. I'm just guessing he didn't go along with it because when Royce confronts him, he communicates with them somehow, and because even Royce tells him like, you know what I'm saying. Somehow you know what I'm saying. He frees him, and then we get Predator on Predator battle, which is the first time in the franchise that we see that.
Right.
So remember, we got to think back to when the sequence of things.
And not a bad scene. Not a bad fight scene at all.
No, really, really good fight scene. It ends in a fucking decapitation.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty nuts. But all right, so and again, this is going to be a nitpick because of this is 2025. Me seeing this after seeing Badlands. The Yautja could have just spoke to each other, and they don't at all in this movie. They just roar.
Yeah,
they're very like feral.
I'm going to say this. I don't think it's. Yes, you might be thinking it because we just watched Badlands, but I don't think the reason.
Because at this point in time, I thought this is how they were.
But I don't think the concept of them not being able to speak. I think this is the one that brings it up because like the Predator in Predator Prime, the first one, that one can't speak because it's the only Predator. Yeah. But it understands language. It has language.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it can communicate. Like, these predators have language. If that motherfucker, if Frank the Tank over there can understand Adrian Brody, then you can't tell me they don't have a language.
I'm just saying is that like, yeah, they should have. The fact that they just roar at each other and
It
everything and
doesn't
don't
make
speak,
any sense.
it's kind of weird. Now again, unless we ever found out that, I don't know, like I guess at the time again, it didn't even, I didn't bat an eye on this for years until after seeing Badlands, because now I know they're called the Yautja. There's a language.
Right.
They talk. I'll admit that. This is
I
more
always
of a
assumed
nitpick
they
of looking
did,
back
though.
on it. Okay,
All
no,
right,
and
fair
that's
enough.
fine. And that's fine. But you're right, because in the first, remember, this is the third installment. The first two, we only see one Predator. Well, no, at the
Right.
end of Predator 2, we see, what was there, 9? 8, 9
Yeah.
Predators?
Right.
But
But they're not like
they're not
they're not
talking to
talking.
each other. Yeah, they're just
Well,
communicating with Danny Glover, and that's it.
like, look, we're gonna have our conversation, but we gotta get the human out of here first.
Yeah.
Give him his 200-year-old gun. Give him the boot. Then we're gonna have a nice Yautja conversation
Yeah,
when he's gone.
Yeah, they're like, listen, man, this guy's obviously too old for this shit, so we got to get him out of here, and it's got to get moving.
This man needs to get home. He's only 5 days from retirement.
Exactly. We got to get his ass back there, right, man? Because this guy was on the toilet the other day and it was going to explode. Like, you don't understand what was happening with this guy. He's had a long fucking week, all right?
And his partner, I mean, I like his partner, but what an asshole sometimes.
Yeah, like, we're not even going to try to mess with him. I mean, like, he was too much. Like, so, yeah, I that was also like a bit of a ding I had on this movie, because it just, looking back on it now, after just seeing, and it is, and I, again, it's because I saw Badlands, I watched them communicating like this, and it just dawned on me immediately. I'm like, why? This is kind of dumb, that they're doing this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'll give it. I'll give it a little slack because, as you said, it's the third one.
Yeah.
But I still think even as the third one, they could have done better. Excuse me, but I don't know. I just think that this movie is wasted potential. That's how I feel about this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's always like and like when something's just bad top to bottom, I don't get this angry. It's when it has something that could have been good. This could have been good.
Absolutely. No, this movie has so many ingredients, so many elements of an awesome Predators movie, right?
I mean,
because
the cast.
The cast.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, the cast is there. The movie in concept is a pretty badass concept, right? Like, hey,
yes.
Predators snatch these human predators and they were like, hey, guess what? We're gonna hunt you because you're gonna be a challenge to us on this planet, on this game planet, right? And you want to go from there. But if you had some character development, maybe shrunk the crew down a little bit of just imposing, people that would have been like imposing villains, or adversaries to the Yautja, fine. And just tell us also, like, what happens at the end as well.
I mean, are they Lawrence Fishburning it? Like, are they just,
I guess,
living under the radar? I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Well, because there is a theme in this franchise, and I'm not gonna. There's a theme in a couple of these movies. Predator 2 sets up something that never gets followed up on, because this movie took 20 years to come out after. Okay.
And then thought its shit didn't stink, and wanted to, let me distance myself from Predator 2.
No, but hold on. I will say though, in defense of that part, let's stick to the concept of the story.
All right, fair enough.
Right, Predator 2 set up the concept that the Predators go back to Earth, they hunt humans, right, and also the government is aware of the Predators, right. That's kind of what that sets up, right? Like that it's going to happen again.
Right.
This movie doesn't take place on Earth. Right, and they did go back to Earth to get these guys, so they didn't really need to acknowledge Predator 2 that much. It wasn't necessary for this story. I'll just say it in that they didn't have.
All right, fair enough. But but I will say this: I think it would have made more sense if it was on Earth and
Okay.
it was the government. Like it was this like strip of jungle that was uninhabited, and the government sensed some activity, and they were dropping things in there to like, So that's why we get a soldier. That's why we get a medic. That's or a doctor. That's why we get a criminal literally pulled out of his jail cell. Like if the government was behind it, trying to like flush the predators out to get a sense of it, and that's what you find out at the end. I'm sorry, but that's a better movie.
No, it is, but I'm just saying is that like it didn't have to be. It wasn't beholden to. I don't. Yeah, it wasn't beholden to Predator 2. But then this
Okay,
movie
that's fair.
also takes a minute to set up something that once again doesn't get paid off. Because I'm going to spoiler: the Predator does not acknowledge the events of this movie at all.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't.
All
So it
right. Well,
happens again.
let's.
It also,
Let's
from what I recall, it doesn't acknowledge Predator 2 either because the Predator was supposed to be the in vogue thing of, hey, we're going to give you a direct sequel to the original because the other two movies were mixed reviews at best. So we're just going to try to wipe the slate clean. And some would say, arguably, and we'll decide, how our feelings next week, that it potentially shit the bed worse than any of its predecessors.
Wow.
Possible.
Dude, Predator 2 is going to wind up being my third favorite Predator movie after all of this, isn't it? After all of this, Predator 2 is still going to be in my top 3.
All right. Let's update our rankings then, like as we close. But
okay,
this movie, I think we'll agree though, is this movie can be defined. The short version is wasted potential.
absolutely. Yeah, wasted potential. That's it. Cast was great, looked great, story was super interesting. Even the characters that weren't really characters, it's like the actors were doing a good job, and I had some concerns. I don't really like Topher Grace as an actor, but I did think he did a good job with what he had. I don't really like Adrian Brody as an actor. I thought he actually did a very good job with what he had.
Considering that Adrian Brody was cast in a sci-fi action movie, and this is definitely not his bag at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, he's usually like super method and serious dramas and stuff. I think like again, I think it has some good stuff in it. The beginning of it, I love. So getting back to just things I really liked about it because I want to end on a positive note. I don't want to just shit on the movie the entire time. I really like the idea of them flushing them out with the dogs, and them actually like the predator dogs. I thought the predator dogs looked cool. I thought it was a way to raise the stakes without bringing the predators in right away. I thought that was super clever. I really one of my favorite character moments in the movie, and there aren't many, as we said, is Isabella because she does exactly what I would have done at this point when like the dogs she can't kill the dogs and they're about to get her. She's got one bullet left, and she puts that gun to her head. And she's ready to go to hell tonight.
Yeah,
I mean that's a cool moment. So there are the predators look good. The CGI is good. Again, there's so much that this had to work with. And again, I want to point out, I think Fishburne is probably the best actor in the movie with what he has to do.
I will say though, I don't know. I had no problems with any of the performances. To me, the writers are the villains of this movie.
I 100% agree.
They just, if you would have just taken a little, like, there's just some choices you could have made to fix this movie, and it would have been great. Like, you could have really just crushed. You could have set out your mission of trying to reboot the franchise. It's not trying to remake. Well, in some ways, I feel like it almost is trying to remake the first one in a weird way.
Yeah.
But it is trying to just make you like jog you. It's trying to hit the nostalgia button hard to get you to remember the first movie. It went overboard with that. That's my issue with it. The writing is a problem, and that's and again, smaller crew, character development. You don't have to develop as many characters. Maybe you just knock it down to like 4, right? Make it a 4-on-4 maybe Predator thing.
Yeah.
Each one of the predators has their adversary.
Exactly. You start off with 5. You have that
Or
first
5.
kill, right?
Yep.
You have that first kill where it's it's the mimic. We see what they're doing now because that does serve a purpose. That's like, okay,
Yes.
we understand we're being hunted. Between the dogs and what's going on now, we know that we are prey in this situation. So you keep that. That kill happens right away, and then you're right. You have 4 characters that you develop and actually give some weight, so it matters when they die.
And you could have 4 one-on-one battles with predators.
Yes.
And that would have been awesome. And if I
Right.
had to pick the 4, I would pick Hanzo would definitely be one because I would
Mhm.
want to keep that, right? Just develop the character more. Royce would have been a second. Let's see. I probably would have went more with Mahershala Ali's character, right? Give him more of that. I would like to know more of what his deal is. And Lawrence Fishburne's character.
Yep. Agreed.
I would probably drop. Unfortunately, Nikolai, you got to get dropped.
Like
We
Nikolai
hardly
goes.
knew you.
Honestly, Nikolai was dropped in my heart from the moment I turned the movie off. Or in my memory.
Oh boy.
The only I would hate and maybe take some characteristics from Isabella, put them in someone like that because I do like the idea of the person, the one who's left, or maybe have Isabella be the 4th, and Fishburne is one of the he pushes in, and then he's not really there the whole time because he really isn't, so he could still be in the movie and get some character stuff. Because I do think like you need a heart to the team, and I think Isabella was supposed to be the heart of the team.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Um, but like I'll say this, but no matter who you pick, find a reason to make the fight or the thing with the predator interesting. Even if you're the writer and you're like, no, I got a hard on for Topher Grace and I need him as this creepy doctor in my movie. Okay, give me a scene that makes me believe that the predators would have chosen him to be there as some because the predators choosing you to be there is an honor in some weird twisted way because it means they feel that you have a chance against them or you're at least going to put up some really interesting score.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I picked who I picked because I felt like
No,
it was the
absolutely.
people who the predator would have looked at or maybe surveillance them and been like, yes, this is who I want to get. Remember, this is who I would want to hunt down to, I don't know, whatever, get my cloak,
Right.
Whatever it is. Now that we know more about the Yautja thing, like that's where, if that's what it was, that was the trophy you wanted to bring back to your planet to say, hey, listen, I took down this motherfucker.
Right, and like, even going to the Topher Grace thing, like let's say you decide you for some reason want him in your 4. Okay, give him something. Maybe like because he is so cunning and conniving and he's a serial killer, he's good at traps or something.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
something like
saying?
that.
Like that's the thing is each of them needed to have something that made them stand out, and I think like Adrian Brody and Hanzo are the only 2 who have that. Oh, and Fishburne, but Fishburne walks in with street cred because he walks in the arm of a predator. So you know right away Fishburne iced a predator.
Well, yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. He said he took one
yeah,
down already. So
right. So he walks in with the street cred. Everyone else needs to earn it. I think only 2 of them do.
yeah, because from what we see, like Nolan, like his Lawrence Fishburne's character. Remember, we've only seen Dutch and we've seen Harrigan do that, and that's it. No one else has done
Yeah.
that, like to take down, kill an actual Yautja at that point.
Right. Exactly. So it's like he walks in with that street cred. We know why he's there.
Yeah. All right. So as far as like, I guess our updated rankings, and out of the 4 movies we've covered now, because we did cover 4 Predator movies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so whatever. 1 and 2 are obviously Predator and Predator Badlands. That in that order. Now it's between 3 and 4 slots for me. Now, man, this is wild because if you told me before we started this, I was going to even contemplate this concept. So I will say the pluses and the minuses. I get my pluses for Predator 2. I guess both of these movies have interesting concepts to it. I
Mhm.
don't think either movie executes them very well. I think there's issues with both of them. Um, I man, I will give Predator 2 credit that it wasn't trying to be Predator at all. Like it's funny because what I didn't like about it the first time is what I'm giving credit for it now. Is that at
Great.
least it was trying to carve its own path. Like it was trying to forge its own path and had its own original ideas. This movie, and like I said, I didn't notice this the first time around, or the second apparently, but this time around, this movie, it's you're cheating on the homework. Like you cheated off
Yep.
the John McTiernan's homework there for a little bit, a little harder than I thought you did to begin with, and that's where you
Yeah.
lose points. Both movies have crews that I don't really give a shit about, but I guess the edge has got to go to Harrigan in this one. Oh man, this is weird. I never would have thought this.
God. You're so close. You're so close.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a lot. Put it this way, it's very close, and I never would have imagined that was going to be the case. But now I'm also thinking about your one ugly motherfucker.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
How is that line not in this movie, by the way? How is that not in this with all the other shit that we get?
Because they had to hold some back. I mean, they couldn't use the entire script of Predator. And I'm going to say this: you get that one stupid callback to Predator and Predator 2. And yeah, we agreed. It's stupid. It makes no sense. But that's it. It's the one. Everything else is start to finish Predator 2, taking the concept of a predator and putting it in the urban jungle.
Yeah, and it is interesting that both movies, though, acknowledge Dutch being debriefed after the first movie.
And I hope that's the through line. And I hope in Badlands 2, I hope there's like two Yautja bureaucrats going, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." Did you know the Dutch was debriefed after the first Predator?
Yes. I don't remember if it's in The Predator, but I feel like I'm guessing they acknowledge the first movie again. I don't recall because I've seen that movie once. I saw it in a theater and
Okay.
never watched it again.
Oh, oh boy. Okay.
I left that movie pissed. I was
Okay. Oh
really
boy.
pissed.
Man.
So
Okay.
yeah. I'm assuming yours is
All right. Yeah. Like I already said it. It's one. It's Badlands. It's Predator 2. It's this one. Again, I don't hate this one. I might actually watch this again at some point in the future. I thought it was very entertaining. It was fun. Um, but I thought I cared more about. I cared about at least two characters in Predator 2. I cared about none of them in here.
yeah.
Like I almost cared about Lawrence Fishburne, and then he turned on them 5 seconds after I almost cared about him.
So you took that
Um,
goodwill and flushed it in the toilet.
right in the toilet, right down with the Taco Bell lunch. You know what I mean? Um, it was no, it was so. I at least liked some of the characters there, and again, I think Predator 2 is a better Predator movie than this. Yes, this has multiple predators. Yes, this is guts. But Predator 2 was really trying to. It was trying to do something else. And again, if there was Predator and then this, we wouldn't have a franchise. No one would give a shit. I really feel it was being able to see Predator, a movie, unsuccessfully, and I'm going to give you that unsuccessfully, take the concept of the Predator and bring it someplace new. This isn't a new place. I mean, yes, it's an alien world.
No, it
It's
isn't
an
an issue.
alien,
I agree with you on that.
right? It's an alien world that looks a hell of a lot like the jungle in the first one. We're fighting in the jungle, and the only difference is we got more predators and some like alien creatures. So okay, that's interesting, but again, they didn't push it far enough. Like I didn't care about any of the characters. Um, I didn't necessarily connect to any of the Predators, which I did like the Predators in the last two for what they are. Like you get in Predator and even in Predator 2, you at least get a fleeting moments of the Predators and their internal life, even if it's just I'm in the bathroom patching myself up, I'm fucking angry. It's something small. You don't really get that here. You get this weird Frank the Tank moment that never gets explained. And also, I don't have to do the mental gymnastics to make Predator 2 make sense like I do this.
Yeah, no,
So
that's 100%.
even if they're both equally bad, one makes a hell of a lot more sense than the other. And that's my big reason that Predator 2 is still my third favorite.
I can't disagree with any of your points either. I'm still going to keep it. I'm going to keep them as a tie, and I don't know. It depends on what it is. They seem to be fluttering at the moment.
That's fair. That's fair.
But by the end of this run, though, a choice will need to be made. So we will see.
You will have to either choose getting too damn old for this shit or Frank the Tank through it. It's up to you.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, all right. So that does wrap it up for us then this week. Thanks for joining us as always. If you joined us on the Facebook live stream, be sure to check out Granny's Peach Tea's Facebook group, where we share a bunch of stories and other stuff that does not make the show and trailers and everything like that. We also, if you check us out on YouTube, check out Pop Culture Pros and subscribe, because that's where you can find us every week, along with the other cool shows that are on the network. And wherever you found your audio-only podcast, subscribe to Pop Culture Pros. Jason and I, we will be back next week discussing Shane Black's The Predator. This should be interesting.
Now, I'm getting the sense, because again, I've seen none of these movies.
Yes.
I'm getting the sense this is the worst one.
Right now, off of memory, I'm going to say, for me, it's not in the conversation for Predator 2 and Predators.
Wow. Okay. All right. That tells me everything I need to know about your opinion of it.
It's like AVP level Predator movie.
No.
I know, and because you hear Shane Black, you're thinking, how can this be? We will find out next week what happened here.
Wait, so this is not going to open up with the Predator lying on a therapist's couch, or Yautja lying on a therapist's couch going, "Oh, I hunted this guy once, and his name was Dutch. I never stopped thinking about him."
There's a part of me that wishes he did. The Shane Black calling card of Christmas is definitely in this film.
Oh, that's the one thing. That's the one. The calling card of Christmas is what we get. Okay, not the talent, not the good stuff. The calling card of Christmas.
My opinion of Shane Black's work is a bit erratic, and
I know. And you know that I'm an Iron Man 3 apologist, which I don't think we've gotten to that one yet.
No,
right?
that will be next year, because we're gonna fully catch up with the MCU next year. And I promise, I know I probably said this at the beginning of this year, but we got an Avengers movie coming out next year. So it's time we tie up that storyline that we set up of Iron Man and Avengers. Those are the last ones remaining. So we'll get around to that next year, leading up to Avengers Doomsday, or is it Avengers versus X-Men? We don't know. All right, though. We'll see you next week, though. We'll be talking Predator then. Talk to you later. Peace.
Later.